Hey mama, welcome back to Vlogmas. We are on day number 4, and today I actually didn't do much besides work and chill. It was more of a relaxing day. I will not be doing the traditional vlog of like what I did today, but this will be more so of like a chit chat kind of video, kind of a get to know me video, because I noticed that I have not made a get to know me or about me video in some years now. So my name is Millie, as you can see by the name of my YouTube channel, and I am currently 24 years old. I grew up in San Diego but had to move to Arkansas when I was around 6 years old because my grandmother was sick, and she passed away, and then my grandfather was sick, right? Okay, no, wait. I don't know, wait. No, my grandmother already passed away. Okay, so my grandfather was sick, and he wanted my dad to come and help him, you know, I guess during his last years, and he actually gave my dad his house. So we ended up moving into the house after my grandfather passed away, and we lived there literally all throughout my schooling. So like from kindergarten all the way to the end of high school, and my parents actually still live there. I grew up in the South. I grew up in Arkansas, and if you know anything about southern states, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can find here in California but you can't find there. In Arkansas specifically, where I grew up, the town was very black and white, literally. So you were either black or white. There were no like different ethnicities. I am mixed. I am Black and Latina, so literally my family were the only Latin ones in the community when we first moved there. So it was a very different experience. I have cousins who are mixed as well, and I grew up a lot with my mother's side, so a lot of you know, the Latin culture is what I grew up with. So coming to a new state and not having any of that, it was pretty weird for me. I didn't know how to fit in. Going to middle school, it was definitely harder. For some reason, people would ask me if I even spoke English, which I obviously did. I'm just very ignorant. And that's where a lot of my, I guess, identity insecurities really started. Because of all of that, I was not confident within myself at all. And if you follow me now, if you know me now, you'd be like, girl, you weren't confident where? Why are you lying? Exactly, like she has too much confidence now. But yeah, back in the day, oh, she was shy, she did not talk, people thought I was mute. When I turned 15 or 16, I actually went to boarding school. All the kids there are really into their studies, really wanted to go to really good schools. All those kids were really smart, really talented, and you know, they were ready for the next step. They were ready for college. They were ready to take on life. And then you had me. I did not fit in, really. Not personality-wise, but more so on like the brainy-wise. If that, see, like you can just tell just the way I just said that, because it didn't make any sense. Yeah, she wasn't the brightest of the bunch. I definitely was smart. Like I got into the school. I literally had to go through interviews to get in. But yeah, I could have just stayed in public school, to be honest. Literally the first year I was trying really hard to get kicked out because I hated it there. I used to cry myself to sleep at night because I hated it so much. I don't want to put anybody on blast in this video because I don't know if certain people watch my videos, but let's just say my first year I had friends who weren't actually friends. They would talk shit about me for no reason. My senior year, I made some amazing friends who I'm still friends with, who I still talk to regularly, and I'm so grateful for them. Oh my gosh, I love y'all so much. Y'all know exactly who you are. I can't wait to see y'all again. I love y'all. Y'all really made my life. You made me not want to jump off of a bridge. She got through boarding school, which was very hard because I was a 16-year-old living basically on my own with a bunch of other kids that I didn't know, living at school and like having to provide for myself and stuff. And my dad would only give me like $20 a month. So just picture that.
Wrap it up, B.
Okay.
The box.
Oh my god. So my boyfriend just came out here and he said, wrap it up, B. And if you know where that's from, comment it down below. Comment it down below. But
They're a real one if they know where that's from.
you're a real one if you know where it's from. This is true. Alright, so moving past high school, she moved to California to go to college. Where did I go to school? I went to Cal State Long Beach and Go Beach. The first month I actually had to ride the bus, and she had a little stalker incident after that. Very traumatic. Between Cal State Long Beach and LA, I did move back to San Diego for I think like 2 years, a few years, and San Diego was great. I miss it. So when I was living in San Diego, I actually moved in to my very first apartment with my cousin, and that whole incident, it was not what I thought it was gonna be. After my lease ended, I no longer lived with my cousins or family at all. Actually, yes, I no longer lived with my cousins, but I did move into my sister's condo because I was already always there. She was like, said she might as well. And I was like, ooh, you right? All right. And at the time, we were best friends. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. Okay. But after a few months of living at my sister's condo, I started to get nightmares from my childhood. I would call them nightmares to make me feel better about the situation. So growing up, I really didn't have a childhood. That's probably why I completely glazed over it during this little get to know me. I didn't do anything that normal children do, like riding bikes or going skating or going fishing or going anywhere. I did not have that experience at all. I already talked about the insecurities I had with my identity itself, but I also experienced some things that children should not experience. I will not state them directly, but very traumatic, should not have happened. Why weren't we being properly watched? Not at all my parents' fault at all, but just some things are definitely avoidable. When I was living in San Diego, for some reason I started having nightmares all the time, and I would always think back about those like childhood traumatic incidents. So yeah, I started having nightmares about my childhood experiences, and I decided to move to LA. Now, as you're watching this video, I've never told any of my family members that I moved to LA because I was having those intense nightmares. And I'm not just saying like regular nightmares, like no, I was recalling my childhood, and because I lived with family and around family, it triggered it a lot. So I was losing my marbles and I couldn't take it anymore. And it was very surprising because I had a very good life in San Diego. Like I genuinely loved life, but for some reason the nightmares, they were consuming me, and I never had therapy for any of that. So I moved to LA. I moved with my best friend, as you know. Okay, you've probably seen her in my past videos. But we moved in together, and that was amazing. Okay, up until our apartment had mold, and I got really, really sick. I was literally on the verge of death. I will not go into details about that because I am waiting for the perfect time to tell that story. But just know, she was literally on the verge of death. It was so bad that I literally tried to kill myself. So when I first moved to LA, I was very, very depressed. But over time, I started to meet new people and get better jobs and get more accustomed to like being an adult. And after that second year, I actually moved into my own apartment, my studio, which you guys have now seen. And ever since then, honestly, she's been on her way up. She's been really glowing and loving life. I got a really serious and huge opportunity working with small brands here in LA in the Latin community. So my first one, which I talked about in my last video, was with Hija de tu Madre. And to this day, I freaking love that brand so much. I love the connection that we've made, and literally like that really jump started my career. That's when things started to pick up and I started to get more opportunities and started to work with more brands as a model. And so over the year, I've just been doing more model work. I've actually started doing like serious acting, which is amazing. Like to actually seriously act and not just say, oh, I'm an actor, but I've only done plays in school or something like that. No, to actually like be on TV shows and different films and things like that. Like, to be legit, it's pretty freaking cool. I actually got to a point last year where I completely stopped working with big corporations and jobs that had nothing to do with my creative passions. And I started taking on jobs more catered to my passions, which is digital marketing and modeling and acting and things like that. So that's legit. That's all she does right now. Digital marketing, acting, modeling, being cute. That's it. So that's where I am now. Mentally, we're still working on that. I'm kind of seeking a therapist because, you know, those childhood traumas and traumatic events are kind of creeping back in, and I feel like they're affecting me just a little bit. There's honestly so much more to my backstory, but I do not want to go on and on and on for hours about my life. So that is it for Vlogmas number 4. Thank you for sticking in and for listening to my long and sad and depressing story. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Until tomorrow.
Out for the